Hello, true duelists. My name is Craig Fee, and as always, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. Another weekend gone by and another high-level event to witness, with YCS Rio in Brazil taking place, giving us yet another look at the new Sprite and Tearlaments meta. Sprite made it all the way to top 8, and Danger Tearlament showed itself as a competent strategy, having 2 spots in the top 8 and 1 in the top 4. Hell, Math Mech proved itself a competent rogue strategy, making it all the way to the finals, just as players had predicted it would do at least well enough in the event. And all was good in the world. Until Mystic Mine showed up and won the entire event. That's right folks, Mystic Mine Burn, piloted by João Cavalcante, and I apologize for how egregiously white that sounded when I said it. I cannot fight my inner nature, folks. Yes, he won the event with Mine Burn to much joy? Anger? You tell me. Either way, Mystic Mine won out the entire YCS, and it reminds me of this amazing summary from the finals at YCS Hartford earlier this year. Truly, Yu-Gi-Oh! As it was meant to be played, and more importantly, as it was meant to be enjoyed. God willing, this gets mine hit on the next ban list, as it has reared its ugly head in far too many tops this past year, and I hate knowing that I am going to inevitably lose to it at least once at YCS Niagara. In better and brighter news, it is officially September, and you know what that means? Megatins. Yes, following the success of the 2021 Megatins, the 2022 tins have been previewed by YouTubers, and boy are this year's tins absolute bangers. Reprints of all the cards you've been wanting: Pot of Prosperity, Lightning Storm, Underworld Goddess, Diviner of the Herald, Crossout Designator, Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, Ash Blossom, Forbidden Droplet, Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit, Dark Ruler No More, Dimension Shifter, and Small World, all confirmed and pretty much all in the secret rare slot for what that is worth. Oh boy, all very much needed regardless, and if they're at all short printed, I will be so upset and angry and then still be buying them anyways, because I am what Konami would refer to as a true duelist. Worry not, however, because it is a 2020 tin, which means it will have a reprint of Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician. All in alt arts, at least from what I can tell, so at least you'll be getting those in your secret rare slots. Or not. I think I heard that they're short printed to hell too. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it. Of note in the tins are 7 new Premier cards, with 3 of them being TCG exclusives. All our unique new ones are focused on the Egyptian God cards though, so don't worry about Nibiru 2.0. They are just DM hype products after all. Link into the Vrains, Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, Dual Tower, and Soul Energy Max! With 3 exclamation points, so that's how you gotta say it. All 4 of those are coming from the OCG's History Archive collection, being imported as ultra rares. Neat. Now onto the new toys to play with. The True Sun God is a pretty dope name, if I'm going to be real, but also a continuous spell. When activated, it will let you add from deck to hand any copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra or a card that lists it in its text, except for another copy of True Sun God here. It can also send itself to the grave during the main phase, or it can Foolish Burial a copy of Immortal Phoenix Ra from the deck to graveyard in order to send a copy of the OG Ra from your field to the grave. And you might be wondering, why would you ever want to do that? Well, that will trigger your Phoenix mode in the graveyard, allowing you to summon it for free, as a means to get out the deck's true boss. Because the TCG printing of the Winged Dragon of Ra is so horrendously underwhelming, it needed another boss version of itself to be desirable, apparently. Oh, and also monsters other than Ra can't attack on the turn that they're special summoned while that card remains on the field. A Tenki for Ra. I can't say that I saw that coming. Next up is the Breaking Ruin God, a quick play for Obelisk. Its activation and effects cannot be negated, period, which is a pretty good start to a card. But what is the actual effect? That would be to special a copy of Obelisk from your hand or graveyard, and if you do, it will be unaffected by the opponent's card effects for the rest of the turn. And if you tribute 2 monsters at the same time to activate an effect, you can banish this card from your grave to banish all monsters from the opponent's graveyard and deal 500 damage for each. Just cheat out the Obelisk, and then do some burn and swing for game. Oh, Wait, Obelisk can't attack on the turn you use its effect. Wah, wah. Regeki is at 3, but sorry Obelisk, you were printed in 2011, and man does it show. Oh well, Mass DD Crow is hardly a bad thing, or at the very least sounds funny enough, and you could just use Regeki and then swing. Take your pick, either way, you're playing Obelisk, you know what you're in for. And lastly is the one being most hyped up, the Revived Sky God. It also cannot have its effects or activation be negated, and its effect allows you to summon a Slifer from the graveyard, and then each player will draw cards until they have 6 cards in hand. It can also be banished to place a copy of Monster Reborn from your deck or graveyard to the top of your deck, and then if you have a Divine Beast in your graveyard, we'll let you draw to kind of pseudo-search your Monster Reborn. Well, if there is a way to make Egyptian God cards worth playing, surely +6 is the effect to make it playable, right? It will require a bit of setup, but if you can go first, have this or a Trap Trick to set this and a Slifer in your graveyard, then the opponent can have their starting hand at 6 already off the draw phase, and then you can plus out the ass on top of also summoning Slifer, who does have a solid stun of killing everything with 2,000 or less attack on summon. It's not a bad card. And yeah, that sounds pretty okay. You may have heard theories already about this card, using it in Branded, since Branded Fusion can send Slifer as a material for Brigand, I believe is the name of the card. Will that be viable? Probably not. Will I lose my shit with hype if I ever see it happen? Probably, yeah, that'd be pretty insane, even if I'm on the losing end of a Slifer. +6 is straight nutter butter, baby. I can't wait to see what people do to try and break this thing. Apparently, the tins have been met with mixed reception in general. There are 5 more cards in the secret rare slot from last year's tins. No reprints from any of the side sets, so cards like Rika and Evil Twins will remain pricey. And Twitter exists, which means that there was more than enough complaining from everyone and anyone. But I just want an extra copy of Prosperity, so I'm just going to take what I can get. I am here to consume. The tins are just 2 weeks away, and just in time for me to not be able to get some cheap lightning storms for YCS Niagara. Wah, wah. Still, they seem like they're great buys. Even if only the secret rares are worth it. I'm hopium here, folks, hopium. I can't wait to contribute to the rise of scrap tin in my local landfill, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but the earth is dying. In more great reprint news, Ash Blossom has been confirmed to be getting a reprint in the Crystal Beast structure deck as well. Set to release in the TCG on September 29th, Ash will be getting 2 reprints this month, being one of the few monsters to ever beat out Blue Eyes White Dragon, and that is rare. The last peasant rare copy of Ash Blossom from the Salamane Great Structure deck is currently at about $20 American a pop, which is $30 for me, which is $90 for a playset, which I believe is evil. I hate how expensive it is. Regardless, I cannot eagerly enough wait to be picking up as many copies of this stupid card as I can to put in every single deck I want to play in the future. Oh, and yay, Crystal Beasts. In community news, the ban list hype continues to grow. Players and YouTubers alike have been predicting all sorts of days and times that it would drop. Many, in fact, predicted specifically this past Wednesday, August the 31st, as the date it would drop, and they were almost right. Because Konami didn't update the Forbidden and Limited list, but instead the Suspended Player list. Yes, who among us is banned from tournament play? Well, a few names you might be familiar with, namely YCS champion Chris Lofton and Yugituber Distant Coder. Lofton has put a video out on his channel, Lofton TCG, which, yes, he has a channel if you'd like to see the inner workings and entertainments of a true YCS champion. If anyone's a true duelist, go check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. Regardless, in his video he explains his thoughts and suspected reasoning for it being a tweet he made naming a head judge of a regional this past August. And Coder has not stated the reason as of yet, but will once he gets more confirmation from Konami. Of note to people on the outside looking in, both Coder and Lofton were involved in drama in different capacities recently enough. Coder with Decade and Lofton calling out other YouTuber MCole40 for racism. According to each of them, neither of those situations had anything to do with their respective banning, and I'm just going to say that out loud now. A somewhat depressing bit of news, as it sucks to see people who love the game being unable to play, but I suppose Big Daddy Konami's going to do what Big Daddy Konami's going to do. To make light of the situation, enjoy this tweet from fellow band player Tatsum. Look at that, folks. Comedy. That's all I'm here for. In a whiplash levels of lighter news, Farfa has started his subathon today. His last one went on for about 10 days, if I'm not mistaken, and this year's will be featuring collabs with plenty of other big names in the community, including MBT, Dizif, The Cali Effect, Mega Capital G, and more. And even outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! Names, if I'm not mistaken, Charlie himself will be cameoing. And that's all on top of a new Table 500 as well. So if that interests you or you just want to show support, swing on over to twitch.tv/Farfa as I shill out yet another content creator in this video. And that's about it. I suppose I could ask you to check out some of my other videos. I'm rapidly approaching the mark of getting paid for doing this, which does excite me. I eagerly look forward to making $3 a month off these videos. But regardless, thank you for watching. My name has been Craig Fee, and as always, subscribe to YGO Strats for next week's update, and so you too can be a true duelist.